Hey guys, it's DatOneLady. I know you've missed my voice and I've missed you guys too.
Hi everyone and welcome to Words with DatOneLady.
Did I just see you squint your eyes like you really did not miss me? Oh wow, very funny. Anyway, before the episode starts, I just wanted to take a few seconds to say I apologize for taking a long time with season 2 of the podcast. I know we had an intro that went up and we were supposed to have the episodes come up in September, but unfortunately life happened and I got a little bit into a lot of things that I couldn't fulfill the episodes like I promised. So we've decided, and when I say we, I mean I have decided to, push it forward a little bit, do like a wrap up of the year. Then in January, the new episodes will come out. Season 2 is now scheduled to come out in January, and I promise you would get to know why it took me a while to post. You would totally understand everything then. And yes, the tips and tricks for grad school, all the stories, you get to hear them. I just did this little piece before the episode starts to apologize for taking a long time to post that. So without further ado, let's get into the episode of today. Hi guys, and welcome to today's episode of the podcast. I missed you guys and I knew you missed me. But yeah, today we have a very fun guest in the house. Someone that I met, I think most of my friends I met on Instagram. But yes, a very fun friend I met on Instagram. And today we're going to be talking about some things. Guest, do you want to, introduce yourself today?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. My name is Kelly. I think some people know me as Kelly Kash on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, but just call me Kelly, right? So what do I do? Well, obviously I'm Nigerian, and yeah, I think we met, on the Instagram. Professionally, I work as an engineer. When I'm not doing the crazy stuff, I enjoy, doing photography, reading, traveling, books. I'm an outdoor person, so I enjoy being out there. What else about me? I'm into sports, into technology. I like fast cars, planes, all of this kind of stuff. Yeah, those right? I think that's just that's me. Yeah, and I'm based in Ontario, Canada right now. And yeah, I think that's a quick synopsis about Kelly.
That was an amazing synopsis, like you put it. Thank you so much for introducing yourself and for being here and gracing us with your great presence. And what do you call that word now? You have all that knowledge and you want to share to us today, and we want to hear. So guys, today we'll be talking about, like we already know, it's the last quarter of the year. If you remember clearly, we had a first quarter, second quarter episode, and this is a third quarter episode. And I'm so glad I was able to keep up with it because that was hard to put up together. But today, we're going to be talking about the third quarter of the year, which is September, October, November, and December. How has it been? Where are we going? What are your expectations? What are your thought processes? We're just going to go back and forth on this amazing conversation and hope you guys enjoy it. All right, Mr. Kelly, tell us, how are you feeling about the year so far?
Well, I think it's been quite an interesting year. Actually, it's been a good year for me,
Nice.
both in my personal life as well as my professional life, family. I think it's been a decent year. I think I was fortunate to be able to work from home. So I think that has allowed me to clear some time around just my schedule to try to make time for family, friends, and just my other stuff I do outside work as well. And, from the start of the year or at least to right now, I've had a blast. Like this summer, I've had the best summer. I'm not going to lie.
I'm jealous. So jealous.
Yeah, I'm actually just trying to breathe right now. And yeah, it's been quite interesting in terms of work. Obviously work has gotten busier for me. So the last couple of months, I had 2 of my bosses retire. So like everyone in my department is sort of like moving up the ladder. So it's like more responsibility, right?
Yeah.
It's getting busy. I'm handling, bigger and more intense project, which comes with its challenges, but I enjoy the challenge, right? That's why I signed up for, right? That's what I signed up for. So outside that, in my personal life, at least, I think one thing I decided to do this year was I was just going to expand my social circle, right? Just expand it and see how much new people, new and exciting people I could meet and, build friendship, or if it's anything intimate with these people. And I think I've done that, at least to a degree. And I think that's why my summer was a blast, right? Just, I made new friends. I reconnected with old friends. And I just decided, I'm just going to shift away from my comfort zone. In the past, normally I've always been the guy I've always been adventurous, but then in the past, I've always going to go do my own thing. But I think this year I decided, okay, I'm just going to try to include my family, my friends, close ones. And it actually made it even more exciting. So even though we're still working through the pandemic, I think it's also provided me, just a leeway to actually explore some other side of Kelly. And so far, I enjoyed it. So I think so far, at least up to this point, it's been great. It obviously come with its challenges for sure, but so far we've pulled through. So I can't complain, right?
I know, right? That's so interesting to say, because going back at what you said concerning like expanding your circle, trying to get yourself back in the space of, meeting people. Because if you remember, in the past, like 7 months or 6 months, or even way back in 2020, when we were all locked up in our houses and we had to be like indoor, then January came around the way and we had to like cope with being indoors still, but trying to adjust. Okay, what's the uncertainties of what's happening, what's not happening, trying to fulfill what you want to do. And then finally being able to go out there and be like, okay, now the place is open. We can cautiously and quietly try to get back on the outside world. I'm so glad to hear that you're able to get back out there as quick as possible and be able to do everything that you wanted to. Because so many people are still struggling with like getting back into this the way things used to be for them, which is hanging out with friends and seeing people and, trying to balance work with like your day-to-day life. Do you understand? So when you compare the time when you were indoor most times to now that you can go out and all of that, which do you cherish more?
I would say being able to, have the person, people in flesh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to see their reaction, right? Whether are these people happy? Are they excited like me, right? Do we share the same vibe? Because it's one thing to be on your phone texting or being on Instagram, chatting here and there. But it's also one thing to, be in front of the person and just experiencing that atmosphere, right? That environment with them. So I think I cherish this better because I think that's where you actually build real connections. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think over the last 12 months, I've built some really solid connections online, whether it's on, Clubhouse or Instagram or wherever. But I think getting to meet some of these people, it's just been like, oh, wow. It's actually like you've taken this, whatever we have going on, right, to another level.
Yeah, in person.
And since then, there are some people I met maybe last year or early this year on social media that now we're just like, we're buddies. Like, I realized, they live close to me. I'm hanging out with them frequently, right? We know the same people, all of those kind of stuff, right? So I think I cherish more. Let's come together. Let's go have a drink. Let's go to the pool. Let's just go have dinner, or let's just hang, right? So yeah, I think I enjoy the in-person meetup. So I think personally, I consider myself like an ambivert. So once in a while, I want to be in my own space, locked up, disturb me. And then once in a while, I want to go outside, make noise, paint the town red. But I think over the last couple of years, I've been able to find a balance. The last couple of months, if I want to compare, handling all my stuff online, while staying at home, as opposed to actually stepping out and doing stuff with these people, I cherish, those moments we created, actually going out and spending time together.
So if we take what you just said now and bring it to the work environment, would you feel the same way?
Maybe.
That's why I asked that question, because I'm like, I know people are excited to get back outside and see people and see friends. But the question now remains, would you want to get back into working in the office, getting up from your house in the morning, getting ready and moving back to working in the office as compared to when you were working from your laptop or your bed sometimes, or your couch or your chair, even with the movie on and you're just replying emails and say, hey, so da, 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 da. What would you take? Would you take staying at home for work or going to work for work?
I think I would prefer a hybrid system where at least the kind of work I do, and maybe also the kind of person that I am as well. I think after a certain amount of time, you just want that human contact, right? Like in-person contact. So, but also the kind of job I do, yes, I could perform my entire job for an entire, from another location for sure. But is it going to be 100% effective? Yeah, maybe it's going to be 70, 80% effective. But once in a while, I want to be able to go into the shop floor and see what we're actually building, right? The project I'm actually working on. So yeah, I could stay away as much as I can, but once in a while I want to be able to like run into the office and, spend 2-3 hours and say, okay, this is what's going on, that's what's going on, okay. But I think I'm in favor of a hybrid system, where it's like maybe 3 days or 2 days at the office and then the others you're working from home. The reason being, trying to adapt this online culture of working, there's just so much meetings. You have to schedule everything. In the past, you could just walk up to someone's office, poke your head through the door like, what's up, John?
Yeah.
XYZ. Are you coming with us? Are you going? And it's easy, right? You resolve it in 5 minutes. But these days, because it's all online, you have to set up a half an hour meeting. And then from that half an hour, meetings are extended to an hour. And you actually, sometimes you actually don't have time to do work. And the way I go past that these days is I actually block my calendar. Like, no one reach out to me. I put my Teams on do not disturb. So even if you call me, it's not going to go.
Yeah.
I just want to do work. So at the office, it's different, because at the office, if I'm actually busy doing work, I put on my headphone. You could see my screen like, okay, bro is working. Do not disturb Kelly. But when you're online, people don't really know. So I think a hybrid system is what I'm in favor of. Give me 2 days to come into the office, and the remaining 3 days I work from home. I think that is a system I would like. And at least right now in my department, I think one thing we're planning on doing is we foresee working from home for only God knows how long. And I think someone is suggesting now, okay, why don't we maybe every week we have like an hour, 2 hour, we set out outside work. We actually go get grab a bite, grab a drink, just, maybe link up at someone's house, do someone's garage or do a barbecue, something like that. And I think it's good just so we could connect, because there's also some new people in my team. I just recently met them, and they've been working for us for the last couple of months, right?
Wow.
So that's why I'm in favor of, okay, 1-2 days come in, right? Get a feel what's happening within, your team, within the company, and the project you're working on, and then go back home and continue doing what you're doing.
I think I agree with the hybrid system too, because the hybrid system will take away the anonymity that comes in when, like, you've not seen someone, you work with somebody online, but you've not seen them before, or you don't even have like a personal connection or personal relationship with them. So I agree with that. But the truth is, in as much as even during the pandemic, I did not completely isolate, because there were a couple of things I still did in person. I still went in person for. I agree with you on that aspect, that the hybrid system will be very, very much effective. So going further with that conversation, what's one thing that you're looking forward to in the last, because we're currently in October, it's currently the 2nd of October as we record this particular episode. And what's that one thing you're looking forward to in the remaining course of the year, like the end of October, November, December?
So, well, I think there's a couple of things. Like, I think one thing for me, first and foremost, is I know it's going to get busier for me, period. At least in terms of my personal life, it's just going to get busier. So am I looking forward to it? Yes and no.
Who looks forward to a busy life like that?
Well, it depends, right? So it depends on the kind of projects I'm working on, right?
Yeah.
The remaining remaining quarter of the year at least. And some projects are exciting, and I just, because again, I'm interested in technology. So sometimes when a project is dropped on my desk, I'm like, wow, you know what? Energy, let's go, right? And then sometimes I'm, all right. But I'm excited in that front. But I think outside my personal life, at least, what else am I looking for? So actually, next week, I'm actually off to Lagos, Nigeria. So
okay, all right. Oh my God.
I'm going for 2 weeks. It's actually going to be my first time going back to Nigeria since I moved here. So
wow.
I don't know what to expect.
That's something to look forward to. See, that's good. Oh my God. Are you excited?
In almost a decade, right? So that's a while. So don't know what to expect. So I think I'm sort of looking forward to that. Mentally, am I really prepared? No. I think all I've done is just I bought my ticket in like March, April, and I haven't done anything. I haven't bought luggage. I haven't done anything. I'm just looking at my stuff. I'm like,
You start from somewhere at some point, but that's something exciting to look forward to. So see the folks after this long time. Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this time next week, I'm, sipping cocktail somewhere in Lagos also, right?
Okay. I look forward to seeing all them stories. I look forward to seeing you having fun though.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. But what else am I looking forward to? I think already I'm quite interested in is, I've been, a lot of people know this is a joke, but I've been in the industry, quote unquote,
What industry, Kelly?
in the single people industry for a while. So
please,
we have to talk about that.
I'm listening. I'm down for this conversation. Let's do it.
So I think something I'm also looking forward to is, again, I've met some people from last year, this year, and I think some of these people are just excited and interesting, right? And I didn't think some of these people get me, on the same frequency. So, and I've been, I've been single for a while, and I think in my head, I'm starting to question and ask, okay, maybe it's time to...
Can I ask a question? When you say for a while, we like to clarify things on this podcast. Please, can you explain to the listeners what you mean by for a while? Because I got attacked one time when I said that to myself. I was like, oh, yeah, well, it's just been a little while. It's not that long. And they were like, what's a while? And I said 2 years, and everybody went nuts. And they were like, what? That's not what? That's a long time ago. I was like, okay. So tell us, what is a while?
Okay, so speaking from because my last relationship was a serious long-term relationship, right?
Okay.
The last 6 years. And I think after I left that, which is going up to, I think would be like a year, 9-10 months now.
Okay.
Within that period, maybe I've had one or two things, not serious. But speaking from a serious relationship standpoint, yeah, about a year and 9-10 months, I've been in that.
What is the difference? What is it? That's a while, and that's not quite long, but you've been in that space. So tell us, what are you expecting? What are you looking forward to for the rest of the year?
So what I'm looking for is more, I'm quite interested to see how, or if I eventually connect with someone where it's like, okay, you know what? Let's start something and see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
They may or may not be a person or people. I'll let you guys figure that out. But so yeah, I think that's something I'm looking for. But again, it's like what? 80, 90 days kind of to the new year. So It's like a short time because I'm not
How? You just said that it's people you already know. It's not their new persons. So of course there's a potential in sight, and there's someone who you're
there's
like,
always
okay,
going to be potential, right?
Of course. So 90 days is not a short time. It's like a perfect amount of time to meet someone, like, profess what you want to profess and be like, hey, I've been digging you for so long now, fam. Do you want to go, the extra mile? Do you want to put your legs on the throttle, to move forward as per a relationship?
I guess, right? What God cannot do does not exist. So, so maybe, that God win. Maybe that happens this year. Who knows? But if it doesn't, you know what? I'm not bugging. Like the way I'm programmed or the way I'm set up,
yeah.
I could keep going to when that happens. So I'm not in a rush, but fingers crossed, maybe something happens.
So I'll take it that for the rest of the year, you are expectant to, get into something serious with someone, looking forward to Nigeria, looking forward to like the exciting plenty work you have to do. But in all of this, it seems like you have like a whole, setup. I don't even know what the rest of the year looks like for me, but it seems like it's set up. You're all set up for the new year going forward, which is amazing. I haven't even thought about 2023. I'm sorry, 2022 yet. I've not even looked. I've never begun to even think about like the years coming to an end. I'm just trying to get through the next day right now. I'm just trying to be like, October, thank you for coming. I did not even know when October entered until I was hearing the Independence something yesterday. I was like, oh, hold on. It's October. How did you get to October already? I just finished summer yesterday.
Yeah.
So like the year is running by so fast that I feel like I'm losing the grip of what the year is all about. What's that thing you do for yourself when you begin to feel like, oh my God, days are slipping by me?
What do I do? Interesting. Just to get myself back to that space where I feel I've got a control of, my life or my environment. I think there's a couple of stuff I do. I think personally, I work out. So once in a while, I use that as an escape, just go to the gym and just put my head and, get all my stuff done at least at the gym, just to feel I've got control,
Yeah.
I'm taking charge. What other stuff do I do, right? Most times I run back to my books, right? Books that, motivate me and just, get me going again,
Yeah.
right? Recently, I just started reading, there's a book I got a couple of weeks ago that I just started. What's the name again? Atomic Habits. So I know over the last 2 weeks, I've been slammed with work. I don't think I've had like personal time to actually like relax and just do something on my own. So there's some stuff I need to write, some certification I need to send applications in for. I've just been lazy to start it.
Thank you
So,
very much. Me and you on that level.
so yeah, but so I need to get those things in place because I know they're playing to next year. So in order for me to get back to that, okay, Kelly, get control stuff. Again, I run back to my book, and I think I just finished a couple of chapters, and I'm already like pumped, ready to, like, you know what? Come like tomorrow, I've got some stuff I need to, get done for my dad, and then some other documents I need to fill. So I already have my plan for this weekend, saying, okay, I'm not going out this weekend. I'm gonna stay in. You know what? No one invite me out. I ain't stepping out, right? Just gonna stay in, get my work done, right? Even before I jumped on here, I was already doing some. I actually just finished editing some photo for some clients, and I just sent it out. And I think that's what they're calling me because. I think they're saying they mixed one of the photos they wanted out. So I think I need to go back to correct it. But yeah, so when I think I'm, losing grip, it's more, I try to use my gym, going to the gym, working out as a way of escape. I'm trying to get control. Set up books. And then sometimes I could just log off everything. When I mean log off, just like no one. Don't reach me, don't call me, just let me be in that, space and try to think and figure stuff out, right? And, I go for a little bit and people are like, oh, where have you been, right? Like, where have you been for the last couple of days, right? I'm like, I'm just trying to get
myself together. Yeah. And that's very, very important point. Like, you're very correct. Like, taking time away from that thing that, makes you happy outside of what's stressing you helps you kind of, get yourself back online. And reading helps me too. But, I'm just going to put this out there. Myself and Kelly, we read two different types of books. Kelly is the motivational person. He reads all the motivational books. And when I'm sharing my book, Kelly's like, what the heck are you, like, what are you reading? And I'm reading romance and different novels. And these things are the ones that they just take fictional novels are very... They take you away from reality and put you in a different verse. And that's what I enjoy. And it helps me calm down. So when I'm reading these books, I'm building sceneries in my head. I'm building everything in my head. And I just feel like, yes, the world feels better now. I can get back to work. No, but sincerely, I agree with you on that one. But shutting off is something that I struggle with sometimes because I feel like something's going to go wrong when you shut off. But hey, if you're listening to this today, shut off. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Your mental health first, you first, before any other individual out there. Another question that I would like to even ask you is, as it relates to, the way we're talking about the end of the year, do you think we put so much emphasis on timelines and days and months, and that's why we all get stressed out, like we're talking about it a couple of minutes ago?
I think we do. The fact that you cannot live life without having like targets, goals, and those things come with dates attached to it, right? I want to achieve this or get this done, or set this up, within this time frame. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when those dates are fast approaching, we get anxious and some people just break down because they can't get a hold or a grip of, the situation. I think a lot of people do that. And then, they freak out when they haven't done stuff when that time is approaching. And I think maybe in the past I've done that. But within the last 24 months, I got to a point where, yes, as long as I, do what needs to be done, life continues, right? Life is too short for me to be worried. And yeah, once in a while I get caught up or worrying, right? But eventually I try to rethink that, what? Life is too short for me to just focus on this stuff and just be stuck here. I got to keep moving. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what I figured out for myself. I don't know about the audience. I hope they figure it out as well. But I think life is just too busy, too short to be hung up and say, oh, I don't have a woman or a man. It's 3 months before the end of the year. I told my mom I'm gonna bring a man. Just be yourself. Let it come when it comes, right? But obviously, you're not going to live life and just relax and chill. Like, it is what it is. You got to make plans. You got to, act. And hopefully, Mother Nature and possibly the guy up there lets everything falls, in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, try not to stress about it. If you think about it, you stress about it and then you move on. And then you're like, oh, why did I even stress? So what's the point?
Exactly. And that's in part to say that the year is coming to an end. Everybody's going to think about what they planned for the year. So take, for instance, I'm sure a couple of people wrote down their goals for the year or things they want to achieve before the end of the year. And now everybody's going to think, I'm sure very soon we'll start seeing all those motivational quotes on Twitter and Instagram say, the year is coming to an end. How many things have you achieved? Chill the heck down. Like, it's not that bad. You did not get something done. That's okay. You did not fulfill some parts that you wanted to get done. That's fine. The question now is, in this moment and in this time, what are you doing to make sure that those things that you wrote actually come to fulfillment? Now, freaking out about them is not going to help in any part. Like screaming at yourself and be like, oh my God, I've not done it. You're wasting so much time doing that to yourself. Why not spend and expend that energy, even if it's just resting and say, okay, I didn't get it done. That's okay. I'll catch my breath and do it later. And that's okay. Nobody's gonna beat you. It's your personal goal. It's your achievement. The question is, nobody's going to come and beat you if you don't do them. So make sure you're fine, and you're doing okay to achieve these things. But yeah, it's a whole process, especially when you're adulting. Oh my God.
It's a scam.
No, I talked about adulting a lot on this podcast. And I did not have a choice. If I had the choice to stay a child and someone taking care of me morning, afternoon, and night, giving me everything I need, all I needed to do was just be a good child, I literally would remain a good child. But adulting has come with all of its own perks. And those people that used to tell their parents that, mommy, daddy, I'll bring a man or woman to us by December, I don't understand what your problem is. Because did they put a knife to your head or a gun to your head saying you must? Is it? Well, I'm sorry if you do, but I apologize if I'm being insensitive by saying this. But I'm like, no, that's an expectation that you don't have a control over. So chill. I don't know. But Kelly, I'm sure you have so many friends that have done this. Like, I want to be in a relationship by the end of the year. I want to do this by the end of the year. When people tell you that, what do you tell them?
You know what? I don't misjudge them because, again, I think we all have goals and stuff we set for our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the person and his context, they're, telling me that. It's more the reason why I want to get married now. I want to be in a relationship now. So in the next 1 year, I'm, proposing. My next 1 year, I'm getting married, and then the following year, I'm having a kid, right? So if that's like the context they're coming from, it makes sense. They're actually planning their life. But if it's coming from a context of, it's do or die. If man not come or woman not come, then it's going to be like, really? Like, it's not going to happen, right? And even if it does, guess what? It's going to be the wrong person because you know what you did? You were trying to force it. That's exactly, where to go wrong. And if it's that situation, I don't want to judge them, but it's more like, what are you actually doing, right? So I think when it comes to intimate romantic relationship, don't force it. Let it happen organically. At least in the past, I remember there was a time I actually went out looking for stuff, and all I was seeing is just rubbish. Now, rubbish did the industry. So for real, see, guys, girls, it's a terrible bunch of people out there, right? I'm not saying I'm a saint, right? But if you actually look out, say you're going to go pursue stuff, you'll be heartbroken when you see, right? Just the way people think, just the way they carry themselves, it's just like, no, that's not my kind of person. It's all right. So until I'll tell people relax until you find a person that vibes with you that ticks, obviously no one's going to tick all your boxes, but they will tick majority of boxes, right? 60%. And then you could start it. No one's perfect, right? And you could say, you know what, let's go with it. And at least for me, I was just having this conversation with a friend a couple of days ago, and I think he was like, is it that you're picky? That's why you're still single? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm picky. Or maybe I'm scared. I don't know. I've seen nonsense in the industry and it's like, okay. Or maybe it's just not the right time. Who knows, right? So don't rush it.
But first of all, I want to give you kudos to you and every other person that calls the relationship world and dating world an industry. That's hilarious. I'm like, industry, wow. But going back to this conversation that you just put out there, I agree with you that if you really are looking for something and saying by the end of the year, I want to meet someone and do this and do that, evaluate your reasons. And this stems outside also of the relationship world. Like whatever you're putting a goal for yourself about, like if you're writing out a goal, when you're putting out there, ask yourself questions like, why am I doing this? What's the point of doing this? What am I going to achieve when I'm doing this? And what's my plan when I achieve this? Because I think we do these things where it's like, I want to get this done. But the question is why? Like, does this add anything to your life? Is this going to help you in any way? And we realize at the end of the day that, those things you didn't get to do that because it was in no way in line with your personality or what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And that's why most times we live the year with like goals unwritten. Now, granted, there are times when some of these things cannot be achieved or you can't get them done. So going back to your conversation, like, why do you want a woman in your life? Why do you want a man in your life? Are you ready to take the steps forward? And that's why today it seems like there's a lot of nonsense out there. It's because everybody is wanting to be in a relationship because everybody's in a relationship. Everybody wants to be with someone because everybody's with someone. Everybody wants to do this because it's coffee season, come back in a couple of months, and nobody wants to be single. Nobody wants to not have anybody that will call them when it's cold and check up on them when it's snowing badly or help them shovel the snow. So it's just like why do we really want these things? If you're not in for the right reason, please don't stress your life and stress another man picking and scar someone else's life going forward. But yeah, it's just interesting, and I'm looking forward to Christmas. I don't know about you. I love Christmas. I love the holidays. I love all the jingles and all the nice coffee and hot chocolate in winter. But going forward, I want to say, do you do this thing where you sit down at the end of the year and you're like doing a review for yourself? And if you do, how do you do it?
I think I do, but it's more of those things I do in my head where I actually just and I just run through like, okay, Kelly, last year you say you want to get this certification, that certification, you want to get to this level at work, you want to do this, you want to set this up, you want to set that up. Did you actually do it? And I actually look through and I'm like, okay, you know what? I did 90% of it. I feel good. And when I look at this year, there's still some time left. There's a couple of stuff I need to finish up that I think I have the time to do. And I think based on my what I've done throughout the year, when I look back, I'm like, okay, maybe there's one thing that I've moved from this year now to early next year, which is okay, just because the way things are falling in place. But yeah, it's stuff I actually just do in my head. I actually do not have a jotting note where I'm like, oh, number one, buy a Rolls Royce. Number two, no, hell no. It's all like in my head, right?
Yeah. And I brought this up because it's like, to be sincere, I'm sure you will notice after Halloween ends and Thanksgiving period ends, it's going to be the time of the year whenever, and again, it has started from Thanksgiving. Everybody's like, oh, it's the end of the year. What are you thankful for? What are you grateful for? What are you looking forward to? Look back at the year. How has it gone? And there's this pressure that comes with it. I just want to, like, if you're listening out there, it's okay if you never do it. It's okay if you don't get to do it. It's okay if there's nothing to review. The good part is you were able to scale from January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and you're going to finish the year successfully and in good health. That's like a great achievement. Like, we've had like a rough couple of years now as the world, like the whole world, going through the pandemic and all of that, the uncertainties that comes with it and all of that. So the fact that you are alive, your family is doing okay, you are in the same state of space as it relates to your mental health and your physical health, then you should just be grateful. And that's what's important.
Absolutely.
So Kelly, before we wrap up, what's first two questions? One, what's one thing that you've taken away from the year 2021 so far? And two, what would you tell someone who is listening and is saying, this year though?
Well, what can I take on this year? I think for me, it's more I can function. Yeah, well, like my friends know, I tend to push people, right? I see myself as a high achiever, right? I'm making little steps just to get to that point. So people around me, whether it's family, friends, or like an intimate partner, I don't settle for less. I got to keep pushing, right? And I expect you guys to push me back as well. But once in a while, back in the days, once in a while, I'll step out of my comfort zone and just, but I think what I've learned this year is I can actually function outside my comfort zone. I've done some stuff this year where I'm just like, you know what, I'm doing it. Like, like next year, like one of the first things I want to do in the summer is actually just go jump out of a plane. That's the first thing I want to do, right?
Why?
Why not, right? The adventurous spirit. So it's more, I think one thing is like, I've learned I can actually function outside my comfort zone. And I think because of that, I think I'm just going to keep pushing myself outside that zone, within reason, within tolerance. I don't want to be in a situation where I just fall off the bandwagon. It's more like, here's my comfort zone, but I'm actually going to go around here, around the perimeter and do X, Y, Z, and then come back. So I think that's one thing I've learned. And I'm glad I learned that. People, I've been able to surround myself with, at least in this period. And then for those people thinking, oh, this year of finished, there's nothing, nothing to write home about. Think about it. Well, hopefully they didn't get COVID. That's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Good health, right? You're able to breathe. You're able to pay your rent. You're able to eat. Sit in the hospital bed with an oxygen mask on. I think those are reasons for you to be grateful. And I think that's what I tell myself once in a while. When I look back, I say, okay, you're losing grip of stuff. You're not going to get this ready for next year. I guess I'm like, yes, I want to do that. And I know I'm going to push myself. But I always tell myself, worst thing that would happen is you're still going to be alive.
Yep.
You're going to have love from your family and friends. Life is going to continue. So do not just sit there and worry and cry. Just keep moving. and be grateful, right? Because I think one thing I learned from this guy, what's his name, Jordan Peterson, is, once in a while when we're humans, this happens where we don't appreciate what we have, right? Always think about those people that have nothing, right? So think of those people that have not, and you strive to be grateful, right? And that's it. So once in a while, I'm like, I want to change my phone a bit. And then look, I'm like, actually, some people with no phones. Like, let me manage my phone a bit, right?
That's so correct.
I want a fancy car. I want a home. I want to be able to purchase a home, right? But I'm like, well, you still have shelter. Yeah, you're paying rent, but you have shelter, right? On the streets, you're like holding a placard, right? Be grateful and move on. Yeah,
exactly. That's so much. I don't think there's anything I can add to that, because it's just the truth. We see things that we have, which for us it's basic, which we don't realize that for so many people it's a big deal. And because we have these things, we forget to be grateful about it. So if you're looking at the year 2021 and you're like, oh, this pandemic really robbed me of everything that I wanted to do, just be grateful that you are alive, you're doing well. Even though you've not achieved that thing you set for yourself, remember that there are people that this basic thing that you see as nothing, wish they have. So as the year is coming to an end, just be grateful for life. Enjoy every moment. Do not begin to panic. This is time to just enjoy the remaining days of the year. Try to make do what is there for you. If you're able to then achieve a few things more before the end, there's still time. It's not over yet. There's still time. Go ahead and do what you have to do. But remember that what you have now, someone is looking for it. So be grateful and be thankful every day. Mr. Kelly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. I wanted to ask us, because we both read books. I want to ask, so what book are you currently reading before we round up?
So the one I'm currently reading is Atomic Habits by, I can't remember the name, James Clear or something. Yeah. I think it's one of those books. It's been on my list for a while. So it's pretty much, learning how to change old, terrible habits and try to reinforce and create new, better habits, right?
Yeah.
And one thing about me, if a book cannot capture me within the first one chapter, that's it. Forgot. I'm getting a new one. So far, I'm already in chapter 3. I started, I think, 2 days ago. So I think it's been captivating so far, and quite interested to see how it progresses. And I think last week I finished. Which one did I finish last week? Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. Yeah. So I've always been, the motivation, self-help, non-fiction kind of books, right?
And that's amazing. I try to sometimes. I just do. I don't know. Maybe at some point, I need to gather my friends that we all read books, and we need to talk about these things properly and understand, why do we read what we read? I'm reading about 3 books all at the same time, and they're all romance novels, and I don't want to get into them. But a couple of days ago, I finished People We Meet on Vacation, and I was angry. I was not angry. I was not impressed about the book. I know I talked about it on Instagram, and I was like, it was just a regular story. And I was like, you could do better. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us today. And we hope that you enjoyed the chat with us, and like we did.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it so much, don't forget to share. Let your friends know. Let your sister, brothers, uncle, mothers, fathers know about it. It can help anybody. This can help anybody at all. So go ahead and share it. If you also have a question, comments, things you like me to do more, or anything you like me to hear, go ahead and leave me an email. Check the description and you will find my email there, and I would love to hear back from you guys. Thank you so much once again, and until next time, keep living, keep loving, and ensure that you're living your truth. And until the next podcast, have a wonderful day. Bye guys.